Terve! This video is going to be totally unscripted because it's summer and I actually haven't had that much time to work on my other projects like Border Train, but I did participate in ArtFight this year. I wanted to show you speed paints for some of the illustrations that I did. And I haven't had that much time to be on my computer during the summer, so I thought that I might as well just make this month's video be about these drawings. I hope it's okay that I can't do much for summer, because I tend to be very busy with going to Krita and doing different stuff that you do during the summer. And besides, when nature is so beautiful, I don't really want to be on my computer all day. I won't be showing every illustration or drawing that I did this year. It was a little bit all over the place because I kind of came in a little bit unprepared. I mean, I did prepare, but then I forgot that I had prepared and then it started and then I was like, oh no, now I've got to do something. So I decided to just make this year about experimenting and trying to get better at different moods and scenes and stuff like that. I also got to practice drawing some different expressions that I don't usually do. I really hope that you enjoy this video anyway, even if it's a little bit all over the place. So, the first character that I decided to draw is Elyra Järvinen. I would pronounce her name as Elyra because, Finnish, but I guess it's not like that. Well, her profile did say that her mother is a moon elf and her father is Finnish. So maybe Elyra is a moon elf name. Anyway, I'll read to you a little bit about her description. Her profile says that Elyra is brilliant, she has an elegant and ethereal demeanor, and she's very stereotypically Finnish. Ja, ylpeä siitä. She is a Dungeons and Dragons character as far as I'm concerned, but I didn't draw her doing any of that stuff. Her profile did say to draw her doing Finnish stuff, and if I'm honest, growing up in Finland I can say that doing Finnish stuff can mean a lot of things, but I decided to do a scene of her eating some traditional Finnish foods. I also added my own character Varpu, whose name was originally Varpu, but then I changed it to Barbara because I couldn't pick between the two since I like those both names. But now I've actually decided that her name is going to be officially Varpu, unless I decide to change that again. I hope I don't because I've changed it so many times by now and I just can't seem to pick a name for her. But for now, yes, she is Varpu. I'll talk a little bit more about the foods once they actually show up. But for now, I'll just talk about the scene in itself. I wanted to do a scene that invoked what I think of when I think of a Finnish meal. And so I obviously drew them in a mökki. Another thing that specifically reminds me of that is very weird and I don't actually know why really, but it's this lighting that I did here, kind of like everything's kind of glowing and bright but also kind of dark. I'm not sure how to explain it. I think that the sun is often like this during summertime, like in the evening especially. So maybe that's why. But it did make for a nice mood in this scene. This drawing was actually a bit of a warm-up for me, since the last time I remember doing a proper illustration was actually last ArtFight. I don't really typically have time to do like just an illustration of some characters, like unless it's for a specific project during my normal days. But for ArtFight, I am able to do that. And so I really wanted to enjoy every last bit of it. This is definitely a little bit rough around the edges. I could have, for example, drawn Varpu a little bit better. And I could have added more detail, like maybe have some drinks for them as well. That's something that I kind of regretted not adding, like some drinks for them. The way that I drew Elyra's mouth was inspired by a drawing done by Meg. Or is she Meg? Or is she definitely not Meg? This is confusing my autistic brain. I'm sorry. So yeah, anyway, I really like the way that some cartoonists draw mouths. And I would like to improve in that area myself as well. Usually I make it kind of square. And I don't put much detail in it. But I know some artists are really able to make the mouth seem like fleshy and like real and stuff. I really like that and I want to learn to do that, so I really enjoyed drawing this, and I hope I get to experiment more with drawing different expressions for mouths. The way that I rendered the hair red in the back looks very good actually. I was not expecting for it to look that good. I just kind of used a textured brush, first as a darker color, then went over it with a lighter color, or was it the opposite? I don't remember. Well, you'll see it in the speed paint. But anyway, then I just do some smaller, darker lines, and it actually gives a pretty convincing effect. You know, you don't always need that much detail. You can get away with very little detail in some places, and it can still look even better actually. Because adding too much detail and texture can sometimes make things look crowded, so it's actually a good skill to be able to make things in a simple way. But that's definitely something that I need some practice in. The window is also embarrassingly simple. I just made a very basic window. I could have put more effort into it. But like I said, this was a warm-up, so I wasn't really in my best artistic mood when making this. I was just kind of figuring things out. I do really like how I drew Elyra's hair. I think that it looks really like it's interacting with her body, especially out around her shoulder. And I don't usually draw this type of hairstyle that is like very flat to the head, but I really enjoyed it. She also has special eyes. Which are purple with teal spots. The way that I interpreted this is by making a kind of heterochromia in her eyes, so that the outer parts of them are purple and then the inner parts are teal. And I hope that's fine, my interpretation of that, since I don't usually draw spots in my character's eyes, so I thought that this might be a way to incorporate it into my style. I also really like to draw all the jewels on her. I saw that in the reference image, the jewels were very detailed, and so I wanted to try something similar. I really do enjoy rendering shiny things and reflective surfaces. I think there's something very satisfying about how all that comes together. And you really don't need that much to get that effect. All you need is some kind of clever gradients and lines and hard lines and stuff like that, and then you can get something pretty good looking, just like that. I especially like the teardrop jewel. I think that came out very good, and it kind of looks like it's reflecting her dress, which I really like. One thing that I do kind of regret is not rendering her dress better. I made this entire drawing in one day, which is why the shading is fairly simple. I do think that the belt especially would have benefited from having a little bit more definition and having the gradient kind of fit its shape more. But overall, I'm happy with the colors themselves, even though I could have laid them down in a better way, if that makes sense. I also like all the bounce lights that I added. Well, maybe not as much the ones that are coming from underneath the table. I wasn't really sure what to do with those, but I really like the one under their necks. I really like to add that kind of blue color under the character's neck. I'm not sure if it's weird or unnatural looking, but personally I think that it gives a kind of cool effect. I also did the same on her hairline. Is that what it's called? The part where the hair splits into two ways. I also added the bounce light color there on each side, which kind of makes it look like the hair is actually splitting from that spot, and I think it looks really good. I might do that again. I could have really put more effort into Barbo's outfit as well, but I just drew her in something very similar as Elyra to make the two characters fit together a little more, even though they have different color schemes. Well, anyway, I'll talk a little bit about the food now. So I just drew these basic plates, and the meal on their plates is reindeer meat with mashed potatoes and some carrots and cranberries. Is that what they're called? Puolukka. And I really like how the little piece of meat looks like on Elyra's fork. I thought that was a really nice touch. Then there is of course some Karjalan piirakka, which is also a Karelian food. The Karjalan piirakka actually spread to Finland from Karelian refugees. And today, it's not only a Karelian national food, but it's also a Finnish national food. That's another reason why I added Varapu, since she is a North Karelian and proud of it. This post was fact-checked by real North Karelian patriots. Can I just say that the Karjalan piirakka is actually, I think, much better than bread. I do know how to make it myself. I've made it a few times. And when you make it, you really get so many. And it will last you like a whole week, one batch. And they're a little bit nicer than bread in my opinion, because bread can get a little bit dry. But these don't really get dry because they're filled with this rice, riisipuro, or ohrapuro, or whatever you decide to put inside. So they kind of stay moist. And they feel nice in the mouth. Oh yeah, and there's also some kravilohi, which is my personal favorite food. Fun fact, I really like it. It's just raw salmon with some tilli and salt. Anyway, here's the finished illustration. I'm really glad that Meg liked it. Or is she Meg? Or is she definitely not Meg? Or is she? I don't think I'll ever know. Oh, the next attack is so good. This is Soapy and King Lemon by Hannah at Trinity. I really had so much fun with King Lemon's expression. I've never drawn someone so bitter. I really do think that the rendering on this artwork is a lot cleaner than the last one. Other than that, I don't really have much to say about it. Other than that, I just love Soapy. There will actually probably be more Soapy fan art on this channel in the future, but we'll have to wait for that, if we get that far. I don't really have much to say about this drawing, because I think the concept is fairly simple. I just drew these two rivals fighting with each other. The gentleman on the left with white hair is Soapy. He is the protagonist of the Soapy comic. And King Lemon is the antagonist. So this is a pretty simple drawing of the two characters fighting. Or getting ready to attack each other, I guess. And yes, Soapy's weapon is a butter knife. I'm not sure what weapon King Lemon has, so I just drew him with his fist ready to punch. I've never drawn a character so angry that their veins are popping out of their neck. But I actually had a lot of fun with that expression. I think I don't draw such extreme expressions often, and I honestly could have exaggerated it even more. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. And I'm glad to know that the Soapy fans liked it as well. This artwork actually ended up on the official Beyond Remnants website, which I'm really happy about. King Lemon's jacket actually has these spikes, which was funny because I actually got to draw another character that has a jacket with spikes in the exact same spot. That was a bit of a funny coincidence, I guess. Soapy's hair was a little bit different for me. I don't usually draw hairstyles like this. Nor do I draw the ones on King Lemon, so you can probably tell that it's a little rough. I decided that the background needed something kind of comic looking. This page was actually inspired by X-Men comic. I don't personally own any X-Men comics. I usually just read any issues that I can find at a thrift store. They're not that pricey anyway, so I could just buy them because they're probably like €2 per comic. Well, the rarer issues can be a lot more expensive, but I mean, it's basically a library. I can just go there, nobody's gonna stop me. So yeah, I guess this has a bit of a superhero thing going on with this image. I'm really happy with how the rendering... I don't know if I said this already, but I'm really happy with how the rendering on the skin turned out. I think it looks just the right amount of soft and warm into just the right spots to make it look really nice. Especially on King Lemon's neck. Like, I've never drawn such a detailed neck, and this is such a good neck as well. I'm not sure if I exaggerated his dark under eyes enough, but I did what I could. Always when making a drawing, there's just some things that you don't really notice, but then you notice it later and you think, oh, I would really like to go back and fix that. But I don't usually ever go back and fix old drawings. I just let them be. because I'm always going to make new stuff and I just don't really see any point to dwell on old drawings. For the background, I thought that it could use a little more color than just the blue and yellow. The characters have fairly simple colors, so I decided to add a little more color to the background in the form of these bubbles. Bubbles sometimes have this rainbow reflection, so that's what I wanted to add. And I really like the effect, I think it's good. You can also see that I kind of drew some of the bubbles blending into each other. That's something that I've noticed with bubbles, that if you have a lot of them, then sometimes they kind of stick to each other. And I like the effect on this piece especially. The lemons are not so good, some of them. I just kind of rendered those really quickly. I could have just copy and pasted them as well, but I decided to render each one individually. I don't have much else to say about this other than read Soapy now, and that's a command. Next I do Carol and Eliot by MJ Thundercat. I had a bit of a hard time deciding which characters to draw from her, but I came up with this scene for these two characters, so that's what I did. I also made a forest background for this, and if you've been following my channel for a long time, then you may know that I really enjoy drawing forest backgrounds and I want to be really good at it. I'm not sure if I really achieved a good result with this one specifically, but it's passable. I basically just copied the backgrounds from her comic because yes, these characters are actually also from a comic just like Soapy and King Lemon. Oh, and I will be adding links to all the artists in the description of this video if you would like to read their comics as well. This piece came out very detailed because, well, that's what I was going for. I wanted to try making something detailed since I hadn't done that in a long time. This one actually took me a couple days to make, but I think it turned out very well in the end. I had so much fun making the ropes for the trap. In the finished piece, you'll see that I shaded each of the ropes individually, and I really enjoy how that looks because I really think that it looks like they're interacting with the characters. You may notice that originally I was drawing some people on the ground because there are these people who I'm pretty sure are trying to... because if I remember correctly, there are these people who are trying to trap these two or at least are going after them in the comic. So I thought maybe they had set a trap for them and then they would come out with their crossbows and be like, "We got you." But I ended up scrapping that because I didn't really feel like drawing those people at the time. I was really focused on just rendering this and getting it done. So it was going in a pretty boring direction at first, but then I got the idea to add the apples. Yes, there were 3 apples, and then I imagined that Eliot was like, "Yeah!" And that means I want apples. And then Carol is like, "Well, that's obviously a trap. We shouldn't do that." Or something like that. I kind of came up with a scene, a whole story for this drawing. Like I was talking about, I really enjoy shading shiny and reflective surfaces, and I think that really shows with the kettle on Eliot's back and all the metal bits on Carol. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I made it clear, but Eliot is the donkey and Carol is the human. Drawing Eliot was a little bit tricky because he's a donkey and I haven't drawn that many donkeys, and he also has a bunch of stuff for when these two are traveling on his back, which made it a little bit difficult to do this pose. I also drew some like pieces of wood and some onions like falling down from his back to kind of convey that he had things like for traveling and for food and stuff like that. If I were to talk about the rendering a little bit, I did some soft shadows in combination with some hard shadows on this one, and I really like how I placed them. Sometimes when I try to do soft shadows, I feel like I end up making it too soft and not really in the right spots, but this time I think that I really succeeded in making it in the right spots. I did do a kind of wobbly design for Carol's eyes. I don't usually do that, I just make it a plain circle, but I wanted to experiment a little bit and I do like how it looks. So I'll see if I can keep that detail in some other drawings as well. I did use the same skin rendering techniques that I used for the Soapy and King Lemon illustration, and they still worked very well. Although for this one the shading color is a dark green actually. I used the same color as the environment for the shading. And something I guess kind of interesting is that I actually blurred the background, which I don't usually do, but for this one I felt like it was kind of necessary because of all the ropes and different elements in the characters. I felt like having the background unblurred would be a little bit too busy. You can also see that the forest becomes kind of blue as it goes on, and I did that just to imply some fog in the background. And I actually found that using a textured brush was a really easy way to add this like stippled lighting on the characters as well as the forest floor. There are other characters from the comic that I would like to draw, but for this year I just did these two. And I'm pretty sure that MJ was happy with it because as of now she actually attacked me 2 times. Well, the second one was a revenge for this. And I found out actually through her that you can make a revenge chain on ArtFight. So you can attack someone, then revenge, then that person can revenge you back, and then you just can keep going. That's kind of funny. I didn't know that. Maybe next year I'll focus more on doing some quicker illustrations so that I could make a revenge chain with someone. But we'll see. Overall, I'm really happy with how this illustration turned out, and I do think that it taught me a lot about environmental lighting. Oh, something that I wanted to note was that Eliot and Carol actually have matching color schemes, like in their clothing. You can see there are like orange details on Carol's jacket, and then on Eliot's thing, like what he has on his head, it's also orange. I don't know what that's called actually. Like the thing that horses have, and I guess donkeys as well. I will also add that I really had fun drawing Carol's ears. I really like troll or elf-eared characters. I think they're really cute, and I like to draw them looking kind of puffy. I feel like I could do better with my stylization of like normal ears as well, because usually I kind of struggle with those, but then elf ears and stuff like that is really easy for me. So I think I could apply some of the same principles that I use for those for human ears as well. I don't know, the ears just look kind of soft and squishy. Well, here's the finished illustration. Please let me know what you think in the comments. The next attack that I made was actually an animated one. I don't think I've ever done an animated attack on ArtFight before, but I saw that some people were doing those, and I just thought that I want to get in on the action, so I made one myself. I got like 500 points for this. Actually, I've never gotten as many points for an attack as I did for this one, so I'm very proud of it. The characters that I'm drawing here are called Piper, Rody, Mercury, and Lumia, and they were made by Curious Cucumber. But before I actually drew any of the characters, the concept that I came up for this was a carousel where we would see all the characters going around it. This is because I read that Piper and Mercury have a shared love of carnivals, and this is how I decided to make a scene that is animated and also displays all of the characters. I personally think that it's a pretty cool concept. Before I drew any of the characters, I actually sketched and lined the horse that they would be sitting on, since this way I will be able to see where exactly I need to draw the characters. Since all of them are going to have the exact same horse, I felt like this would be the easiest way to do it, to make the horse first. I tried my best to keep the horse looking consistent throughout the entire thing. I'm not actually sure exactly about the perspective here, if I got it right or not. Although I don't think that the issues with the perspective really show up in the final piece all that much. It could obviously have some more depth and be better overall. but I don't think it's really noticeable just by looking at it. So, the first character that I started drawing is Piper. Her profile says that she's very tiny, very happy, and talks a lot. She's super social and basically a friend to everyone. This character reminds me a lot of my own character Cinnamon. So it was very easy for me to draw her and figure out what she would be doing in this situation. I imagined that a girl like her would really appreciate the artistry of a proper carousel. So at first I had her looking and sort of admiring the artworks, and then after that I thought that maybe she would be kind of stretching out her arms and she's just happy. Like, yay! I imagined that just seeing like a beautiful artwork is enough to make her very happy. Lots of people are very hard to please nowadays because everyone's on their phones and always looking at stuff, so even seeing something very impressive like a beautiful painting or something, people just don't even react. But I imagine that Piper would really appreciate it, considering that she's also a gardener, so it seems that she has a thing for the small beautiful things in life. Next, I drew Rody. Rody's profile says that he's a bit of a mystery. Barely anything is known about him or his past. And he doesn't speak at all either. It says that he's very shy and socially awkward. And from what I understood, he's usually kind of hiding behind Piper, whom he also has a crush on. I decided to draw Rody after Piper because it did say that he's always kind of behind her, probably due to being shy. I decided to draw him just looking at Piper, kind of like, oh, I'm in love with her type of way. Now, personally, I'm not very good with romance, not writing or in real life. But what I am good at, I think, is portraying emotions in art. So that's what I tried to do here. I tried my best to kind of subtly show that he has a crush on her. And because it said that he's kind of socially awkward, I drew him also looking kind of awkward, like, should I be looking at her? But then he decided, nah, it's fine, she doesn't care. I did also sketch Mercury, but I think I forgot to record that. Oops. So I'll talk about him more once we get to the line art. But I did sketch out Lumia, so I guess I will talk about her. From what I understood from their profiles, it seems that Lumia is most connected with Mercury, since she's not listed as a connection for any of the other characters. From what I remember. I mean, I could be wrong, that's just what I remember. She is Mercury's boss, and she is a workaholic scientist. It said that she has a very cold demeanor and can appear very unfriendly towards other people. But in reality, she is quite insecure and uses her solitude as a way of hiding it. And Mercury, as her assistant, is the total opposite. He's very clumsy. So, because in my mind, Lumia and Mercury are the closest, I decided to have Lumia's animation have something to do with Mercury. So I just came up with these little lines for them to say to each other. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Lumia deep down really enjoys seeing these people have fun and providing that fun by buying the tickets for them. Oh, and also she's holding these 4 cotton candies that each of them is inspired by one of the characters. I'll let you guess which one is which. You should be able to tell based on the colors, I hope. At first, I had her only holding 3 cotton candies to represent Piper, Rody, and Mercury. But I felt like it would be a little bit too mean to not give her one, so I did in the end. My personal worst trope as a writer is that I'm not ready to kill my darlings. I don't want to give my characters horrible traumatic events. But I'll try to get over it. They're just fictional characters. It'll be fine and good for the story. Oh, and I imagine that before this scene took place, they actually bought the cotton candies, but then Piper saw the carousel and she just couldn't wait any longer and she had to go right now. And then the rest of them were like, alright, well, let's go. And then Lumia is left with the cotton candies. But don't worry, they're going to eat them afterwards. Moving on to the line art, which went very smoothly. I did do all of the characters' line art on the same layer, except for Lumia, of course, since she's not supposed to be moving, to save some time and space. since they don't really need to be on separate layers. They only overlap with each other on like one frame each, so I felt like it'd be fine. Oh yeah, about the overlapping. So I decided to do that for the last few frames, you can actually see two characters at once, or at least you can see a horse of another character at once. Since it seems like there are only 3 horses in this carousel, so I wanted to try to make it make sense how they're moving. I didn't do a very thorough plan for the layout of this scene, so there might be some mistakes in that. It's not perfect, but like I mentioned, I don't think that really affects the final result that much. I guess I should mention that I also made the line art on top of everything else. So all the parts that are supposed to be overlapping with the characters, I just erased the lines there manually. So now I will also talk about Mercury a little bit. So Mercury is a laboratory assistant to Lumia, like I mentioned before. It says that he's a biology enthusiast, a comic nerd, and a general chaos bringer. His profile also talked about the fact that he's very clumsy, which is what I wanted to emphasize in this scene. I wanted to have at least one normal looking frame of him, so I just drew one of him adjusting his glasses, which then leads to him sort of leaning over towards Lumia to thank her for the tickets. But then I guess because of the movement of the carousel, he leaned a little bit too far, and then we get this awesome face as he's about to fall over. But then in a bit of shock, he manages to swing to the other side, just to immediately grasp the pillar so that he doesn't fall. I also drew him very flustered looking, because it said that Mercury has a bit of a crush on his boss, Lumia, so I imagine that he becomes very embarrassed that he almost fell in front of her, although she doesn't really seem to care at all. Probably seeing him fall is like routine to her now, so I don't imagine she cares that much. Placing the colors was a little bit difficult since I did use a textured brush. But I just can't help it, I really like to use a textured brush. For the shading, I used this method where you just draw a line in a color that stands out, and then you can just color in the shaded areas. It works very well for animation. It can be a little bit confusing at times, but once you get used to it, it's fine mostly. One of my favorite things in animation is when the moving objects and the movement of the character actually affect the shadows in a way that is kind of realistic. It can be a little bit painful and difficult to animate, but once you get it, it looks really good. For the medal, I actually decided to use an attack that I made on the previous year, since I thought that it fit the carnival theme perfectly. In the drawing, you can't really see the lions' faces, which I was a little bit disappointed by. I mean, in the artwork itself, it's fine because the conductor is basically the main character of that drawing. But here, it would have really helped to actually see the lions' faces. Oh well, I think it's fine, it gets the point across. And it's the best I had. I mean, it's way better than just searching for an image on Google, I guess, because it also fits the art style. I decided to make this an evening scene, like you can see, so a lot of the time the characters are backlit. I'm not sure if anyone has noticed, but I really like this kind of lighting. Once I had all the shading and background stuff, all I did was just adjust the colors everywhere I could to make it all seem a little bit more cohesive. I used black line art for everything, although now that I'm looking at it, I really feel like it could have been elevated by some colored line art. However, I didn't really have time to do that. So overall, I would say that I'm very happy with how it turned out anyway. I decided to add some computer-generated lighting as well. I forgot what this effect is called, but its technical aspect is very simple actually. It basically just fills every area where there are no pixels with a color, and then clips that to the existing pixels. By adjusting its angle and position a little and maybe blurring it, you can get a pretty convincing lighting effect. I decided to do a light on both sides. So from top right, there's a yellow light that has a bit of a harsher edge, and then a very soft blue bounce light coming from the bottom left. Because of the way that I drew the characters, the effect does get a little bit messed up around the pillar of the carousel, the one with white and red stripes. you can see in some places that there's like a yellow or blue line on each side of it. And that wasn't intentional, but the reason why it happened is, like I mentioned, I drew all of the characters on top of that layer, which means that the pixels actually stop right there, and obviously it's going to get filled in and therefore show up once it's clipped to the pixels. I wish it didn't happen, but at the same time, there's not much I can do about it. I'm not even sure if anyone has made a plugin that would fix that, where you could actually make it clip to only certain parts. Although now that I think about it, it does sound pretty useful. Although at that point you may be better off just creating the effect manually and not using the F-layer effects. Oh well. The very last things that I added were just some tents and a Ferris wheel behind Lumia, and I blurred those out. I was a little bit nervous about what I would do for the background, since obviously I can't just have it be a gradient. But I think what I did in the end gives a pretty convincing effect. Also, I felt like this definitely needed some flashing lights, so I just added some flashing lights to the pillar with the lions. If you would like to see the full version of this animation with the music and text and all, I actually uploaded it to YouTube already. You may have seen it. I will put an info card in the top right so you can click on that and view it if you'd like. Anyway, this is definitely my favorite of the attacks this year. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me in the comments if you've participated in ArtFight this year. And of course, tell me what you thought of the artworks in this video. I'm going to be making some more attacks after this, and I didn't post every attack since some of the people who I made attacks for wanted their characters to be private. But I'm getting very sleepy, so hyviä yötä.